Most new estate agents out there won't make it past their first year in a estate agency. Now, it's not because they're lazy, it's not because they're stupid, and it certainly isn't because they're not cut out for a life in sales. They fail because they don't actually understand what being an estate agent involves financially, mentally, and emotionally. In today's video, I want to break down the reasons why a lot of estate agents leave the industry within the first 12 months. And most importantly, I'll talk through how to avoid becoming just another statistic. Because if you can survive the first year, your chance of being a really good and well-paid estate agent over time dramatically increase. So let's look at the figures to see how big this problem is to start off with. So lots of the figures out there say that within the first year, about 70 to 80% of estate agents simply don't make it to year two. Even in salaried roles across the entire United Kingdom, at any one time, about 1 in 3 people are looking to leave the industry, which, as you can imagine, is really not a good sign. So let's talk about why people actually leave. Now, one of the biggest ones is unrealistic expectations when it comes to income. Now, I get it. You see lots of things on Instagram and estate agents in flashy cars on flashy driveways, and you think to yourself, they must be getting paid an absolute fortune. And don't get me wrong, there are lots out there that are earning fantastic, life-changing money. But the reality is, for a brand new estate agent out there, you probably earn more like 25,000 to 35,000 in your first year, which, as you might agree, isn't exactly Lamborghini money. To go alongside that, estate agency has really long hours. So most agents out there will usually work 5 or 6 days per week, and this involves working Saturdays, for example. I know when I first started, my only day off of the week was a Tuesday. Try being 18 years old and have an active social life when your only day off of the week is Tuesday. Trust me, it's really, really hard. Now, over time, as you get more and more experienced in sales, first of all, you generally earn more in commission as you sell more properties, and also you sort of move up the progression ladder as well. So therefore, your salary increases as well. But lots of people dip out of estate agency before they start to see this return on their investment come through. You see, lots of people out there don't fail because they can't do the job. They fail because they run out of patience before the job gets to pay them back. So reason number two why people leave the estate agency world is cash flow income. Now, it takes a really long time to get through to completion in the estate agency world. So this is the time where people move into their new home. And the average in the United Kingdom alone is 6 months, which means if I sold a property today, it's going to take another 6 months before I get paid on it. That's a really, really long time. And over that 6 months, while you're waiting for that commission to come through, you still got things like your mortgage to pay, your rent to pay, your bills to pay, your phone bills to pay. Those keep racking through, and you're still waiting for that commission to come down the line 6 months down the line. This really hits home as well when people have their own estate agency or they're a self-employed estate agent, because you've got lots of overheads of running an estate agency before you finally start getting some income about 6 months down the line. And that's a best case scenario if you sell a property literally on day one. Okay, so let's look at reason number three why people stop being an estate agent. And this one, as you might imagine, hits home pretty hard. And that is a lack of training and support in their workplace. Now, I am an estate agency coach, is what I've done for the last 8 years. Before then, I was an estate agent full time. Now, I can name pretty much every estate agency coach in the UK on about 3 hands. There's about 15 in total. Now, last time I looked, there was about 50,000 estate agents in the UK, which off the top of my head is what, 3,333 people per coach in the UK. So as you might imagine by that, that means there's a huge number of estate agents out there who simply get no training whatsoever. A lot of the training that you do receive is what's referred to as on-the-job training. And I know I experienced this a lot when I first started, and that is, there are the keys, go do a viewing, don't lose them, don't let the cat out. If you come back and you survive it, you've done okay on that one. Or here's your first valuation, everyone else is out, so it looks like you're doing it. So a lot of training like that happens. Now, as you might imagine, I am very passionate about people having the full support they need to have a brilliant estate agency business. And this is something I see all the time, every single day. Brilliant agents who leave the industry because they haven't got the training and support either from their employer or within their own business to help support them as well. And our final reason why people leave the estate agency world is rejection. Now, I get it. People like being affirmative action. Everyone loves a yes and, oh my God, you're amazing. It's fantastic. But unfortunately, in the estate agency world, you get a lot of no's. In fact, I would say it's a hugely good thing you are getting those no's, because it means you're asking the right questions going forward. You're pushing the boundaries about yes and no, and you're really pushing the business forward. But people generally don't like to hear no. And over time, that can grind you down. Imagine hearing no 20 times a day, every single day, 6 times a week, year on year and year year on end. As you might imagine, it grinds you down over time. This is where it can take a huge toll on you mentally. And to make it even worse, as an estate agent, you are literally the middle person between two people that may or may not get on. And unfortunately, you are the messenger. And I know the expression goes, don't shoot the messenger. Trust me, being an estate agent, people take shots at you every single day and trying to blame things on you, and you are effectively sometimes their verbal punchbag, which you most definitely do not deserve, but unfortunately that sometimes comes with a job. So you can get a lot of grief as an estate agent, most of which you most definitely do not deserve. And as you might imagine, that can grind you down over time, where eventually you just think, actually, screw this, I'm off. Okay, so I feel it's been a really negative glass half empty video so far, so let's turn that frown upside down. Let's look at why the survivors win in a estate agency, and actually how you can make sure you're one of those people that have a successful career in a estate agency going forward. So first things first, if you survive the first 12 months, your chances of survival in the estate agency world dramatically improve. The reason why is you've learned the basics of the job. You know what you should be focusing on, you know what you shouldn't be focusing on, you know what a day-to-day looks like. Also, over that time, you've built some sort of sales pipeline as well. So although it takes a long time to get paid, you know that actually that money has started coming through into your pocket. So you're actually kind of reaping what you sowed a little while ago. Also, generally speaking, this is a whopping generalization here, so apologies in advance. Generally, you've toughened up a little bit by year 2. So those no's don't hurt quite as much as they did when you first started. You've finally got a little bit used to it, and you've got a little bit of a thicker skin. So things that may have got you when you first started, after year 1 or year 2, you're kind of just shrugging them off and going, oh, it doesn't matter so much to me. So if you want to be an estate agent that survives not only year 1, but actually goes on to have a thriving career, here's some steps you should be absolutely be focusing on. Number 1, go in with realistic financial expectations. Remember, the average in the UK for the first year is about £25,000 to £35,000, and that's on target earnings. You are probably not going to be a millionaire by Christmas, no matter what everyone tells you on TikTok. Next up, have a financial buffer that you can work with. If you can work on actually just surviving on your basic salary, that's a really good place to be, because as we talked about, it's going to take a little bit of time for that commission to come through. So if you can have some sort of financial buffer there to start off with, that's really going to help you level out some of those lean months down the line. Number 3 is get around people who are going to teach you how to be a brilliant agent. And the fact you're watching this video is a really good start. If you're not getting the training and support you feel you need at your workplace, ask them when you can get some training, how can you get some training, how can we make it happen where I can be better for you so I can sell more properties. It's a real win-win and a no-brainer for your employer. And last but not least, understand that rejection is all part of being a really good estate agent. If you are failing lots and you're getting no lots, this can be a really good way of learning quickly. And if simply everyone is saying yes to you, then you're not pushing hard enough. You're not pushing those boundaries about what you are possible of. Okay, so that is a wrap on today's video. So actually a really good idea about what to avoid in your first year of being an estate agent to make sure you go and have a fantastic career after you get past that 12-month boundary. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you want a free copy of my best-selling book, Your First £100,000 Estate Agency, you can download that over on Instagram, slide into our DMs with the word book, and that'll come straight across yourself. I'll catch you on the next episode.